Welcome back to Talking Turf. We're a few minutes late because we're adding a couple of things in the night. It'll be more professional next week. I promise you that. That's for sure. As always, you've got 60 seconds to grab a cuppa. We've got loads to talk about. Talking Turf, now they're crack. You all right, Gary, lad?
Well, yeah, good.
Gary, look, people think that we'll avoid this like the plague when we're not, when results haven't gone our way. So I'm just gonna jump straight in. Obviously to Man United, 3-1 there. United obviously gone behind to an early goal. We managed to grab an equaliser. And then, lo and behold, mate, the last 8 minutes, Amad Diallo, boom, 3-1, Manchester United 3, Southampton 1.
It was a game of 80 minutes and then a game of 10 minutes, wasn't it? That's the one way of putting it. I think we're down and out, weren't we? And then all of a sudden, bang. I mean, it literally papered over the cracks, like, didn't it? Which went to show, proved yesterday. They're in a bad place. There's not really any other way of putting it, is there?
Well, we'll come to that, but we won. We won 3-1, didn't we?
Well, we did.
In fact, we'll flick through because we've got a canny bit going on the night. We've started doing my dream teams. And going forward, get your dream teams into as well, who you think have been the players of the weekend. I'll put something in the comments of the app that me and Gary use, and then you can forward them over and we'll show them on here. We're gonna do the dream team. We're gonna also get to see what the kids think. We'll invite a different kid on every week. We're gonna Warren Melvin's gonna come on the night, Gary, see what his opinions is. We'll get somebody else on. We'll get some of your young'uns on, and anybody else that wants to come on, they're welcome to come on because kids can be good crack, I think. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, they're honest. Right, so Saturday, the opening game, Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 4. Kluivert, Bruno Gomes equalizes. Kluivert scores again. And then Bournemouth have a goal disallowed because the ball went out to play a bit like it did with Newcastle and Arsenal last year. But it was given. This time it was disallowed by the same referee. Lo and behold, though, Kluivert scores a hat-trick. It's 2 more goals than his dad ever did at St. James's. And Kirkes, who Man United are heavily linked with, but apparently he's too dear, finishes off 4-1 Bournemouth. And I've got to say, personally, I thought Bournemouth were absolutely outstanding, especially against the Newcastle team who had gone 9 unbeaten. But they just turned up. They had 2 goalkeepers on their bench, 6 16-year-olds. They're literally depleted, but they didn't care. They turned up. And they played like they were a home team, and it was actually really, really good to watch. How did he say it?
Same. They are that deep refreshing to watch. They've got an identity and they play the same like week in, week out. He seems like he's a good manager. Him. I mean, when they came to Old Trafford, I was impressed with them. Like they've got like willing runners and very good players. That's Semenyo. I think he gets quite a few goals as well, doesn't he? Like you mentioned, Clivert gets his hat-trick. Kirk is good fullback. They just work hard. Like there's no superstars in there that you would point out really, but they're just like a hard-working team that work for each other. Gans a long way, don't it?
Aye, absolutely, mate. Geordie Toon for life, straight in here. He's saying Bournemouth were outstanding and fully deserved the win. No complaints at all. Terry Hagland saying Bournemouth played us off the park. Good on them at the end of the day. Martin Gallatin is saying Eddie out. Sorry, you'll be in the past again. Kids will talk more sense than you two. Geordie Toon for life, evening, Melly and Gary. Just in a serve, that's very bright of you. One shot on target, and that was the pen. Wow, what a team. Keep your coats on, -5. And it could get even lower than 13. Don't worry about it, mate. The league's gone. The league's gone for us. We've said that all along. John Justice Allen. Good evening, John. Nice to hear to join me, mate. Thank you very much. He says Bournemouth are excellent. He's always very honest in his opinions, John. An excellent guy who runs a Peter Beardsley camp. So if he's on X, get over there and follow John. He's an absolute gentleman guy, as is Geordie Toon for life, should I say as well. Yes, so Newcastle, and it doesn't get any easier for Newcastle because Southampton, I thought that everybody that comes to Old Trafford, it's like a cup final, Gary, and they were very, very good against us. And it was the manager that bottled it, I thought, making the substitutions when he did. He totally bottled it, otherwise the win was theirs. Fast forward a few days, they got into Forest, and granted they're 3 now, doing it half time, but then they come back to 3-2. They're playing all right, and they can play all right. And I think Newcastle's got a hard game this weekend.
I mean, they have got some good kids. That Tyler Diblin, youngish kid, he's a very good player. He carries the ball like with ease from like box to box. He's a winger, like, but he can get the ball up the pitch, like so. That was it a striker, but he kept like pulling off to the left, and he absolutely ripped Lenny Yoro to bits, didn't he? He was absolutely rapid. If you let him turn, get on the ball, he'll punish teams because he was really good. I thought this should have beat us.
Aye, he had an absolute nightmare. He wasn't much better than Lever yesterday. Moving on then, we'll put that down in the past, like Martin says. The league's gone, he says, Gallen. It's been 12 years since you were in the race. How many years has it been since they were in the race? How's that coming from a Newcastle fan? That's what I don't even get. I can take the grief of people, but not Newcastle fans. Honestly, unbelievable. Army, hello, lads. Sorry, Gary, before was miles away passing you, he says.
Yeah, right, Army.
Reese William Nicholson says Newcastle get beat again this weekend, 100%. I agree with you, Reese. Geordie Toon for life. Diblin is out for 3 to 4 weeks, but Southampton do play good football, just can't finish. That's right, because when they came to St James's Park, granted you had a man sent off, but they had 83% possession, and they couldn't deal out with them. Couldn't deal out with it. You'll not want Southampton to win this week, mate. It dragged you into the relegation fight. I tell you what, just quickly though, we're on the train, weren't we, on the way doing with them Leeds fans, and I says, it looks like you're going up this year. And they were the older generation, and they said, "Oh, looks like we are going up, but we didn't really want to go up." The Premier League's like just absolutely poison. You know, it's totally money driven. You've got VAR, so like you can't celebrate a goal, and like the tackles, the players in the Premier League, they're like fairies. You know, like they're desperate to win that penalty, desperate to win that free kick. Whereas in the Championship, it's like it's proper old school football, and they love it. I mean, you know, that's two fans. You know, like they're probably not talking on behalf of the Leeds fan base, but they make a good point, don't they?
They do. It's just back to basics, isn't it? The Championship, it's like you're just doing it to the referees, assistants, and the whistle. Whereas no, they still get so much wrong, like refereeing decisions. And even with that help, they're still constantly making mistakes. And there's always a game on the weekend where you think to yourself, how are they getting that wrong? There's always incidents, isn't there? Whether it's offside or fouls.
The debate and the cracks afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they got that wrong. Like Gallen saying Championship's best league in the world. He said that for years. Geordie Toon for Life says the Leeds fans have a good point, to be fair. Army's piped up again there, saying he think we will lose against Southampton. We'll look absolutely drained. Army, I think you could be right, mate. It's Eddie won't make a sub how. And it's catching up. It always does. You have a good run up to the Christmas, and then after Christmas, you start dipping in form, and then you've got a canny group of fixtures coming up. Birmingham away in the FA Cup. That'll not be an easy tie. Fulham at home, they're playing well. Then you've got City, Liverpool, West Ham away. It's, you know, we're getting to the crunch end now, like, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, you're in a much better position than we are, but so is most teams. So is 13 of us. Brentford nil, Liverpool 2, Gary. Stats show that Liverpool battered them in possession, a lot more shots on them, etc. But it took them until the 92nd minute to break Brentford's defence. Certain Darwin Núñez came on, and this time he found the net twice, securing 3 points for Liverpool, keeping them top of the league, firmly top of the league. They are 6 points clear, and they've also got a game in hand, so potentially 9 points. Are Liverpool going to win the league?
I think so. They seem to be they're getting results even when they're not playing well, really. I mean, like you said, they've fought until the death and they've gotten a win. I mean, they look like, obviously Forest started well the other night, but Liverpool, like, they probably feel like they should have won that game as well. Teams around them is just losing, aren't they? No one can get that run together to keep, like, the momentum on them. Obviously, Newcastle's had an excellent run, but then they're falling short. Liverpool's got good players to bring off the bench that'll win them games when, like, the start 11 is not. And I think that's where they've got the advantage over the rest of the teams, I think. You see Arsenal going to their bench and you see it dip, whereas Liverpool, like, they have got them players that they can bring off and, like, change the game.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, mate. I cannot see anybody. Although I would like Forest to give them a run, but Liverpool are just really, really strong, aren't they? You know, like, they're gonna win a shit league, to be fair, because Man City haven't been on it either, and the rest of the teams are winning. They haven't got any kind of competition this year, whereas they have been consistent, and they'll end up winning the league. Like,
totally agree, but you see that, and I think because, like, De Bruyne, you start watching City now, and I've been watching some of the highlights and stuff like that, and you can see him getting, like, to a little bit of fitness, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, obviously they beat Ipswich 6-0 yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if you seen Man City come from nowhere and just go on one of them runs at the day and just win, like, the rest of their games and really put the squeeze on Liverpool. I mean, that game in hand Liverpool's got is away to Everton, isn't it? They're not going to want to, like, roll over for them. And I think you might see City do one of them crazy runs to the end of the season, mate.
It would have to be crazy like that. Let's have a look. City are currently 12, potentially 15 points in front. So that behind, and the goal difference is like, so 16 points. So Liverpool have literally got to lose 5. And
it's a big ask. I'm just saying, I think they might end up being the closest team to them. I think so.
You think, right? Do you think Forest will drop off?
And City's just about spend 200 million there, have they not? That's like what big teams do, isn't it? That's like got good owners. They see the struggle a little bit, and then they go and they get bump. And
why, man? Live? Let it do live.
I want 200 million.
Moving on. Leicester nil, Fulham 2. Emil Smith Rowe and Adam Traore continue Fulham's good run of form. 3 points for them. Another 7th straight defeat for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Is his job in the balance here, Gary, or do you think he gets time or what?
I don't know. It's one of them ones, isn't it? Did they expect, like, I mean, they haven't spent any money, have they? They haven't brought anyone in, I don't think. So maybe was that appointment on the basis that they thought they were maybe going to go and do it anyway, and they thought what we'll do is we'll rebuild in the summer, we'll keep that money for that because we just think we're nowhere near good enough. You never know what conversations sort of like went on, but they'll not be happy with the results. Like, I don't think. Got to be winning at home.
I'm just messaging the Ben here to tell him what time to come on here. But you're right, mate. He's I mean, like, we were told that his training was absolutely fantastic, so he's definitely got it there. It's just another case of, like, where Moram has he got the players that can adapt to his training drills and play the way he wants to play. The trouble is nowadays he doesn't get time anymore. So a good win for Fulham again. Leicester in trouble. Moving on, West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 2. We'll flick through this. Mateta scoring twice. He scores for fun, him, doesn't he?
It does. He's a good player. Really good player.
3 points for Crystal Palace in the London derby there. Last game of the Saturday finished at the Emirates. Arsenal 2-0 up. Martinelli and Kai Havertz scoring for them. And then within 5 minutes, Tielemans scores. Should have scored straight after as well. It hit the post and went wide. And then Ollie Watkins makes it 2-2. But the biggest talking point of the game, Gary, in its first half, wow, that's not handball. Like, was Kai Havertz handball in the 87th minute, which would have won the game for Arsenal. It got disallowed after the VAR intervened. And if you look now, everybody's looking at this arm, thinking it was this arm that it hit, but it didn't. As he turned, it hits his right arm. It's clear as can be. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm. All right.
What do you think?
Well, you know what it is? This is the thing that annoys me, because 2 weeks ago, right, when Newcastle played against Spurs, right, so something very similar happens. That's not a foul, and the game continues. Newcastle score. But in this instant, the exact same thing happens, really, right, and then they disallow it. So
it's not the exact same thing, Gary. Joe Linton, it hits his hand and the gone on to score the goal. It's different when the goal's scored from the hand. You can't score like
it only happened
from a potential handball. Whereas that player was allowed to play on and went to Gordon, he ran on and shot. This was a shot at him and it's gone in potentially off his arm. It's got to be disallowed.
I think they're both handball, but this is why there's
100 million%. Joe Linton's like he's the luckiest man in this whole entire footballing planet. I don't know how he hasn't had 10 red cards. He's the dirtiest player you'll ever meet in your life. He's always pulling them, dragging them around the neck, bad late fouls. I don't know how he gets away with it. Honestly, absolutely baffles us. Let's flick through the comments because they're flooding in the night. All the tsunami. Here we're going. Where we were at, yeah. Just seen that walk. I might be going to Italy. I think he's probably gone to Saudi. Talon's on it with the championship scene. You'll find out next season. I've said before, mate, I'm not asked. Honestly, it'll clear out all the dead wood and the money grabbers and potentially the owners. Made a sub at half-time away, man. I can't remember what you're referring to there. Jolly Tune for life, if you can enlighten us. Psycho. United issues, in my opinion. We need two players to balance and change the whole team. For me, it's getting two fullbacks that can play in the style of Newcastle's fullbacks. And a controversial one is dropping Bruno and start passing forward with pace. Thoughts? You'll back him, like, because you don't like Bruno, do you?
But I just think he's better than the rest. Like, I prefer him playing it on the left, to be honest, than what I do in the middle. I think every time he moves into the middle, you lose something. I would have put kids in or something, brought someone from the academy or put Collier in the middle. He's got legs. That's what I would have done and kept Bruno wide. But I don't know. The manager doesn't seem to fancy him that much. He's given
for me. I mean, obviously, like I didn't know a lot, but you've got a natural-footed left-footed player sitting in the academy in Harry Amas. He can't do any worse than what Dallo, like Sai's saying again there. Dallo and Missouri are not the answer. Missouri on the left of a back three for me, 100%. Missouri, De Ligt, and Maguire with Amas and Ahmad. And then I will play Collier and Ugarte with a Menu as a 10 And then I would have Bruno floating with either Highland or Mazzarri. But hey, you could be anybody you want to do better than what they're doing at the minute. Chris Dobie's pitching in here. Ruben's right. Your team is shite. Yeah. I can't wait till they get on this bad run, me. Gary Moore, do you think City are preparing for a transfer ban and points deduction by spending all this money now and securing Haaland for the next 9 years? Nah, I think they put him on a massive contract so they can get more money for him. I don't think that now what's going to happen. I don't think anybody does. Fairy, hello, lads. Hello, Fairy.
Aaron Ferry. I was just reading a couple of comments.
Michael Adamson, big balls, Melly. I love banter, me. That's all it is, mate. Banter. Don't worry about it. Still love you, mate. Colin McLean, 100% correct decision. Totally different. It was a goal off a deflection. That's right. I like Amorum. He'll do decent next season with a few signings in a pre-season. 100% a handball. It's his right arm. Harry, it's completely different. Your Amanda's there. Evening, lads. Here he is.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Peter the Badge. The City
Peter.
Where's he?
Oh, that's people's opinion.
Look, man, he's doing it. I see him old Gary bringing the tune into it. While O'Gorty is an angel. Nah, he's not. He's definitely not, but he's not as bad as Joe Linton. Peter Tate, Joe Linton plays for Newcastle. He's effing mint. Gary, what's it like being a fan of Man United since 2020? Does Melly tell you stories about when you were massive?
All the time.
For this. You've got him, Peter. You've got him.
I even changed my name on the screen for him.
Man United need more than 2 fullbacks. Need to sign Kirk Ayres as soon as possible, and they need to drop an honor instantly. So what you saying then, lads, about the weekend? Just game on X. We'll get there, Amanda. And Peter Tate, Man United need 1 stadium, 2 manager, 3, 11 players. Oh, they need 22 players, Peter. Honestly, absolutely piss poor. Fast back into Sunday, yesterday. Goodison Park, Everton 3, Tottenham 2, 3 now up before half time, Gary. The Moyes effect. Second half, Kulusevski scores, and then Richarlison returns to Goodison Park to grab a late consolation. Stats are showing that Tottenham had more possession, but, mate, good win for Everton. Excellent win for Everton, but Tottenham are in trouble. Just like we are.
They are. They seem to be getting away with it a little bit more because we're being that bad. But they actually were some, aren't they? It's worrying that. Like, well, they're on 24 points. I mean, we're above Tottenham. Normally, you'd expect to be in like the Champions League spots or something, wouldn't you? But like I say, he seems to be getting under the radar a bit because we're doing that poor. Obviously, we're massive, so the limelight's on us. And little Spurs is getting away with it, but you know what I mean.
You see, Uncle Peter. Spurs fans, you've got Heung-Min Son there, you know, like, and he's getting abused. And then you've got Richarlison doing a lap of honour, running Goodison Park. The man's mental. These Brazilians are absolutely touched in the head, aren't they?
They are.
They are? Stomaching that water over there, like. Moving on, unfortunately, we've got to hit this one. Man United 1, Brighton 3. Minter scores, and then we'll get a penalty, and rightfully so. Bruno converts. Second half, we're sitting in the air, like in the bars. I'm thinking, like, they've got to come out here the second half and they've got to put a display on because this is absolutely, like, ridiculous. I expected a good game. I said in the Premier League, we'll get beat 3-1 the day. Straight away, within 8 minutes of the second half starting, they start brightly. We're on the back foot again. Pedro has a goal disallowed. But then Mitoma scores at the back post and Rutter steals the win. Nana absolutely dreadfully, like, dives on the ball. Like, I've never seen no like it. I've never known a goalkeeper get so far in his career. Inter Milan, Ajax, Man United. And he cannot even do the basics.
He cannot. He's absolutely crap I've said this since we signed him, like, haven't I? Now you were trying to give him a bit of a chance, but I've never liked the bloke since we signed him. I think he's awful. Like, you spend that money and you let David De Gea, like, arguably one of the best goalkeepers in world football. Like he was at one point, and they said they'll bring this guy in because of his kicking. He can't even make a 30-yard pass. So I don't know who was scouting him, but I've got no idea what he's doing. Like he's shite.
He is piss poor. And just to elaborate on that defeat. I personally, like what I've just said there before, I would get the young'uns in because we're doing so badly. We've got to bring some young'uns through. You've seen them with the likes of Collier, Ahmad. Like I'm aboard Ahmad, but he's still a young'un. Garnacho, Manu. They've brought them in and they've done a job. Like I can't understand for the life of us how anybody becomes a professional footballer first and foremost, right? But like, see the likes of Meany, take Meany for instance, right, Gary? So you pay 70 quid for a ticket or whatever, and then you've got your kids' ticket, and then you've got your train, and then you've got your day out, and then you've got like you're giving the day out with your family. And then you get these lot coming in who are earning like £250,000 a week to play 3 training matches in 1 game, 2 games maybe, and they cannot even show up. And somebody says, but like that's no excuses because when we went up against City, Arsenal, Liverpool away from home, the grit and the determination was there from the same players. Yet they come to Old Trafford, and honestly, it should have been 2 defeats in a week, Gary. Southampton should have been.
That's what I was saying.
Should have been beat up Southampton and Brighton. Like,
it just papered over the cracks that Ahmed hat-trick. Yes. It was like 10 minutes of brilliance. He won with the game, but other than that, it was awful. Awful. But the manager said that. He says he'll find more out about playing against Southampton and Brighton next week than what he will against Liverpool and Arsenal. And he's probably worked with everything he wanted in that, to be honest, is that the players in that dressing room aren't up to the challenge. Not his challenge anyway. They'll go out and they'll walk on the pitch. What they want to do is they want to be put in a formation where they can sit and be lazy, where someone's behind them all the time, but he's not allowing them to do that. He's exposing them. That's what he's doing. And you've seen his comments after the game yesterday, and he says it's arguably one of the worst Man United teams in history. And getting off the results and performance, he's probably not too far wrong. But I'm just a little bit worried that is he trying to get himself sacked, or is he just trying to be honest? No. I hope he's being honest in that the board back him. That's what I hope, because I do like the bloke and I like his honesty. But the last time Rangnick was that honest, he was kicked out the door, and he was meant to be our next director of football. So I don't know.
No, I think he's been brought in because of that, because of his honesty. They knew what he was about. They knew, and I just think that they've got to take that on the chin. You know, like, you're playing for Manchester United, man. Despite what anybody might call or say about you, you're playing for Manchester United. You've made it to the top. So if you can't perform for them, like, where can you perform? And you're the worst team that in the history of Manchester United. It's perfect. We need to get through this season. It's not very good. We're not that. But if we're gonna have a Europa Cup run, league run, or something like that, just so we can guarantee some kind of like Europe next season, great, excellent. That'll do me. And then Amorum's got it's gonna take more than one transfer window. You know what I mean? It's gonna take a few transfer windows. This isn't a short-term fix. We've got that many people now. Like Gallen said in the group before, like the same Man United, and they put this tax on. That's what they do. So an 85 million Anthony was only 40 million, same as Harry Maguire. 85 million for Harry Maguire. You know, he wasn't 85 million. He had a good Euros, but it just puts that pressure on the players instantly before they've even kicked the ball. Everybody's, their expectancy level is up there. They've got to stop that. They've got to start recruiting from the bottom. Good, honest players like Brighton do, like Bournemouth have done. They're out there. You haven't got to go for these big players who have a good tournament or who've had a good few games or whatever. Get the scouting right. Get them in young. And that's
I totally agree. But you see, the thing is, like, they generate that much money, Man United. But the issue is this debt that's been sat there for years and years and years and years. They've never paid it up. That's the problem, right? So you're generating this money and it's just covering the books. If Jim Ratcliffe is a big Man United fan, as he says he is, right? He's worth 27 billion. His company's worth even more than that. Why does he not just pay the Glazers out, write the debt off, and then you're starting from scratch? You can literally go out, because that's what they need to do. They cannot compete with PSR and do what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. So Glazers didn't want it. Jim Ratcliffe was the perfect solution for them. They don't get any grip. Yeah, Jip now. None. Jim's getting it on.
You see people calling them out, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault, like.
But it is what it is. We'll move on, otherwise we'll be getting called the Man United show. Nottingham Forest 3, Southampton 2. Elliot Anderson, cracking play at him. Like, I don't know where he came from. Hudson scores, Chris Wood assists, and then Chris Wood scores. Another good player. I don't know where these are coming from, but 3 now at halftime. Second half kicks off. Southampton pull their sleeves up. They're going for it, and they get 2 goals, mate. Unlucky again, once again. Another good win for Nottingham Forest, though.
I know they just keep getting the wins, don't they? I mean, they ran Liverpool close. Gets a point in that game. Liverpool probably deserve to win that one, but they're still sticking in there. Like they could be playing Champions League football next season. It's definitely not out of their reach. Other teams around them keep dropping points. They've just got to if they keep winning them home games, they're in with a good shout. I think. Be mad to see that though, wouldn't it? Champions League,
and they deserve it. You know, they've got a good history. You know, like they just prove that. You know, you can be in the Championship one year, and a couple of years later, you're playing the Champions League, and it's just absolutely what football is all about for me. Like
it is.
Ending Sunday, mate. Ipswich, Man City, nipped down to Portman Road, and they absolutely tear them a new. Aye, Foden, Kovacic, Foden again, Doku. Haaland gets on, and a special mention to McAtee, who gets on the score sheet again. I've watched him a few times now, Gary. He is very, very good player. He reminds us of Foden, actually, a young Foden.
Mm-hmm. He is a very good player. Like I said, we watched him when he was on loan at Forest last season, and he was very good. Was it Sheffield United? Well, he was on loan at
Sheffield United, aye.
He was on loan at Sheffield United. He was very good player in a poor team. He stood out that game as well. But City back to winning ways.
Yep.
Aye.
That it?
That was it.
We'll flick through the comments quickly. Where were we? Here, Gary Mould. If it wasn't for the 3 really poor teams, Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester, Spurs would be in trouble. Absolutely. So would we. What's this? Let's talk tune. All them grey seats, though. We stay to the end. Very. You shouldn't have put that on, like, not after that abysmal, what do you call it? Did you say it, Gary?
The FA Cup.
Aye.
Oh, my God.
Listen, what I'm going to do is, we're starting a new thing. The Talking Turf. What do the kids think? I don't know how this is potentially gonna go on, right? Because welcome to the stage, little Melly Bonds. How are you doing, son?
Mint.
What do you think of the minute? What do you think of Man United first and foremost?
Really? At the minute, I haven't been very good, but like against Southampton, Lenny Euro, he wasn't so good. We should have took him off in like the last 52 minutes. He wasn't very good. We should have put Maguire on for Lenny Euro.
Think Maguire's had a good season?
Mm-hmm. Been kind of good.
Man United, where do you think they're gone wrong?
I just think The way they put the defence in, they've only got 3 defenders in the back. It's not really like strong defence.
What about strikers though? Because we're not scoring goals neither.
Well, Joshua Xerxes, just like 2 games, like he was slow at the start of the season, and then like straight after, he's been like running in the box, like asking for the balls and winning the balls. He's just Xerxes been kind of good, but since Hoyland played the start of the season, like 5 games, he was like really good, and then he just started to slow down a bit.
Yeah, aye. Good analysis, Melvin. What about the tune? Newcastle? How do you think they're doing?
They're doing all right. They've been doing better, really. And the way they lost against Bournemouth, the way Joe Linton pulled one of their players back, they wonder the lost 4-1 because it's just Joe Linton and it's just bad tackles that they were doing against Bournemouth.
Aye. Who's been who do you think will win the league?
At the moment, probably Liverpool. Really.
Liverpool. What do you think of Nottingham Forest?
They've been all right. Haven't been bad.
Good season. Who do you think Man United should buy?
Right now, in the Premier League, I think Sells in net, he's been pretty good.
Who?
Sells.
He is a good keeper, him. He is,
aye. Is that what you think we need then, the keeper?
Haven't been very good in the nets. Just like, we've got Onana, he hasn't been very good, and they're never playing Tommy in. So, like, Villians has been good, and if we get Sells, like, at least we've got, like, a backup keeper on the bench.
Aye.
And get rid of Onana.
Few messages here, like, coming in. Peter the Badge, Melvin is saying, Little Melly, go and put your City shirt on. Chris Dobie is saying, go on, Little Melly, talks more sense than the others. You know who Dobie is, Melvin?
He's a Dawes player.
Is he? What were you singing in Blackpool?
Oh, what was it again? It was like Dobey, Chris Dobie.
Little Melly talks more sense. That's from Gary Mould. How are you, Little Melly? Says Liam Crisp. Give us your Ahmad chant.
Oh, Tia, 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 lo, Tia, lo, Tia, lo, Tia, 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 lo, Ahmad Tia, lo. He is a magician. He comes from Ivory and he can play. Where does he play? Down in my bossy way. And I'm like,
yeah, man. 42 for life says, Melly, you've brainwashed the young lad. You should be ashamed of yourself. And Martin Gallen says, Hasbullah, come and support the tune, man.
David, do you know how you were saying before, like, get the young the chance of if they bring them off the races and actually, like, show them what they can do, we might actually get a better team. Like, Lenny Yogo, you could, like, get Amos on. You think you could do much better? Give them a chance, and then they can show you what they can actually do.
Definitely, mate. Definitely, I agree with you 100% because it can't get much worse than what they've been, has it?
Nah.
Like,
you're going to show them. So if you bring them off the races, they can actually show you what they can do. And if they can show you, they might actually be better. Like, for example, and you could put Amazon. Dallas hasn't been very good. No. When we're against Ipswich, he pulled back his wing. He was in. He could have scored, like, cross it in, and we'll win 2-1. And then Dallas hasn't been very good. So I think if you showed Amos or like Tyrell Malacia, he was good against Victoria. Like, yeah, just give them a chance and they can play well.
Exactly. Amanda Webb says, well said, Little Melly. Little Melly, thank you very much for coming on. You are absolutely mint. Oh, Gary Mould here saying, Little Melly, come sign for Crammy Juniors. He's the East North coach as well. Cheers, son.
Cheers, Melly.
Later.
Yeah.
Ta-da. He loves it, doesn't he?
He does. He's been asking for everybody here to come on, hasn't
he? You know, every week, man. It's fantastic. Because they tell the truth, don't they?
They do,
what they see anyway. Don't be saying legend. He is. He's absolutely is, mate. He says enjoyed listening to him. Aye, he's like a little old man, isn't he, Gary?
Oh, when he gets going,
crack with him, like. Listen, we've covered the results. I'm gonna take a break. Here's the adverts, and when we come back, we'll be showing you what our dream team of the week is, and also looking forward to this weekend's Premier League fixtures. See you in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Yeah. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us, and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Bed, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation, one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited. Based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. CERTAS approved, who specialise in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialise in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk, or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 077787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. Oh, I nearly got caught. Right, so here's the dream team. Here's my dream team for this week. This is something new that we're going to do every week, and it will look a little bit more professional as the week's gone on, but this was literally decided that we'd do this yesterday on the train and then reminded about today. So I've gone for the Fulham keeper in net and the Fulham left back, Gary. Leno and Robinson. Virgil van Dijk at the back, because just he's always at the same level, isn't he? He might have one or two bad games, but like he's strong. Tarkowski for Everton, I thought was very, very good yesterday. And Alexander-Arnold, I thought, cancelled his critics completely. And he was absolutely fantastic against Brentford. I went for Lindstrom also, and I've got him as a defensive midfielder there, but like I couldn't change the formation. But basically, the front six, so to speak, would be Lindstrom with De Bruyne and Foden, who were great. As you see, he's come back into his fitness there. And obviously, you've got young Justin Kluivert there, who had an absolutely fantastic weekend. It was a throw-up for me, Gary, between Nunez and Mateta for Crystal Palace. Mateta scores regularly, but I thought Nunes was an impact sub. He came on. He had a lot of critics. The water about him getting sold and everything, and he rescued 3 points for Liverpool. So that's why I put him there. And I had to include Minter because he actually was absolutely Minter. He was very good.
What did you make of his tackle on Delors in the build-up to them?
It's a foul. It's a foul, isn't it? But like, you win some of them, and you get some, and you didn't get some, didn't you? And we didn't get it, but it's definitely a foul. Like 100 million% a foul. So if you're looking at this, give me a rating out of 10 for what you think my team of the week deserves.
Or any changes that you would make of it? Anyway.
Gary, do you know how to say this?
Well, I'm going to try.
Knee pressure.
Knee pressure, so.
Nah.
Didn't know how to do it.
Oh, man.
Where's it? Where's he gone?
Present, share screen, share your.
Nah, it's not coming on.
Yeah, I knew I should have done. You just didn't want to show us, did you? You didn't want to show us, but you could have just put it in, and I wouldn't have looked, and then I could have just presented it. I'll flick through the comments while you're doing that quickly, anyway. Peter Tate Jr., Howie, the bottom half of the league challengers. How canny is he, man? Bless him. Be better in black and white. I tell you what it is, Amanda. That's time yet, because honestly, he's not had no bad said about the tune. I mean, he's got a lot of influence there. All his friends as tune fans, and you've got his all his uncles in that group taking him to games, and it's looking likely. But his granddad gives him like a lot of chip. So it could be. I'm not gonna make him support Man United, but if he doesn't, then he can go and live with him. Hopefully just a blip for Newcastle. This tired excuse was poor. They want to forget about Europe if that's the case. I agree with you, but he needs to rotate them more. You can virtually guarantee the starting 11 that Eddie Howe will put out, if everybody's like fit, so to speak. And you can virtually guarantee when he's going to make substitutions during the game and who the substitutions are going to be. So he's a little bit predictable, to be fair. It's working, like for the last 9 games, it's worked. But he got funded against his old Bournemouth team there at the weekend. And he does. He needs to change it. He needs to bring different players in, otherwise they'll get funded. He's got it. However, explain what you've gone for these 4. Let's go.
Right, so I've went for Dean Henderson for Palace. Just basically, they had the 2 clean sheets. They were the only team that got the 2 clean sheets this week. 2 games away from home. That's also why I put Guehi and LaCroix in. The Lewis Skelce one, and he's a left back, but I thought both of the left backs were class this week. Did you like that Lewis Skelce that plays for Arsenal, the young one that's come in? Fullback. I was being impressed with him midweek, especially. I think he's an excellent player. He just plays with his heart on his sleeve. I thought he's done mint coming in there. That Kirk is, obviously, that's who we've been heavily linked with at Bournemouth. Another cracking left back. I think he'll get a move eventually. He probably doesn't want to go and play for Man United at the minute, Mike. I wouldn't.
Gary, have you put Isak in there by mistake?
But no, he's absolutely flying, isn't he? There's not many people score more goals.
He's never even got to touch the ball.
What? Did you not watch him? Did you not watch him midweek? He's unplayable, man. I get he can't do it every game, but he's still the best. I think he's still the best striker in the league at the minute. I disagree with that. I don't think there's many better in world football. Mateta, because
you got on 2 weekends results, mate.
No, there was 2 games this week, wasn't there? I
can't believe he's made your top team of the week.
You've had your say, man. Look, right? Same thing. Foden, like, been absolutely brilliant. De Bruyne in there because I think he's just making City tick at the minute. Tielemans has had 2 really good games. He was excellent against Arsenal, I thought, in the midfield. And Kluivert for his hat-trick against Newcastle.
Yes.
And that is my team of the week.
That's your team of the week. Faza saying, Gaza, delete me now. Liam Crisp saying, share the right screen. We don't want to see your other Google tabs.
You didn't like.
Do you agree with our team of the week? If not, who would you change and why? Let's quickly, before we're going on to the this weekend's fixtures, I want to show you this. Obviously, the transfer news. Yeah, we're gone. So the transfer news this week is, well, I use these, but like obviously, like Devon Tech, genuine. It is what it is. Xavi Alonso is favourite to replace Carlo Ancelotti, who is leaving Real Madrid at the end of the season. I think that's a good appointment. I like Alonso. I like what he's done. Manchester United are exploring a potential deal to sign Douglas Luiz from Juventus. 3 clubs in the Bundesliga are interested in signing Ryan Cherki from Lyon, Dortmund, Leverkusen, and Bayern Munich. Pep Guardiola wants Manchester City to make Rafinha the club's next top transfer target. Barcelona would want around 100 million for the Brazilian. Unbelievable. There's currently no suggestion that Ange Tottenham job is on the line, despite the terrible run of league results. I like him, to be fair. I've always liked him. I think he's in a very, very similar position to what Ruben Amorim is. Murillo, he signed a new 4-year contract with Nottingham Forest. Good deal. Conte, he's had direct call with Garnacho on Friday. Napoli are continuing to push for a deal. I think the two teams are just like out on their estimations. United want 60 to 70 million. Napoli want to pay 40 to 50 million. And I wouldn't let them go for anything less than 60 million, to be fair. Not interested in signing Patrick Dogu from Nice. He's also heavily linked with United. Gary. Mm-hmm. Jamal Musiala to sign a contract extension with Bayern, dealing a blow to Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and City, who are all interested in signing him. And we'll just fast track through that. And deal done. We'll just end on this one. Burnley have signed John Joe Shelby on a deal until the end of the season. He's had some clubs here, many, but I tell you what, you know what you're getting with him, like.
No, definitely. What did you make of Sunderland on Friday night?
I just thought, honestly, why did you not just change the penalty taker? They've gotten a penalty in the 86 minutes. Saved it, and he's went the same way twice. Like, change the penalty taker. Completely change it. You win, you get them 3 points there, and it's like, it's a massive win over your nearest, like, rivals in the championship.
Unbelievable,
2 points dropped. Massive 2 points dropped for me, like, absolutely unbelievable. Aaron Longstaff saying surely Onana gets into the team of the week. Come on. Yeah, for the motive Sunday League, mate. Isaac is just a poor bicycle. Yeah,
I missed the 2 pens.
Right. You missed 2 pens. Hey, lad. Right, let's fast forward to this week's fixtures. We'll not do Europe because obviously we've got a lot of people on who are Toon fans, and that'll just waste our time. So we'll go on straight to next weekend's Premier League fixtures. Bournemouth against Nottingham Forest. How do you see that going, Gary? What a game.
It is, isn't it? I mean, I think Bournemouth's going to have too much for them at home. I'm going to go for a home win. I'm going to say a 2-1. Close game. 2-1 to Bournemouth. Yeah,
I think I'll go for a 1-1 draw. Two good teams, two informed teams. obviously Bournemouth have got the home advantage, but Forest are pretty good as well. Like away from home, they have they beat Everton 2-0. For Wolves 3-0. Brentford 2-0. So they're pretty good. But I don't think they'll have enough to beat them. I'm going to go for 1-1. Next up, Brighton are at home to Everton. How do you see that?
Got
Do you see the
got a
Moyes?
few people in the comments there now.
Sorry. Liam Crisp's gone for Desmond, as has Terry Haglerton. Desmond 2-2. Perry says the should be booked for time wasting that Burnley keeper. Forest have never beaten Bournemouth in the Premier League. That's a good fact, isn't it?
It is. All right.
Brighton, Everton, how do you see it gone?
I'm going to say a 2-0 home win.
2-0 home win.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm going to go again for another 1-1 draw. I think the Moyes effect's kicking in. I think Everton are doing well. They've got a little bit of something about them there now. Brighton's obviously hard to beat at home. But I think Everton will come away with a point at least. Doesn't he think he'll also win 2-0 just like you think, Dory? Next up, Anfield, Liverpool host Ipswich. Terry Hagland, sorry, says 2-1 to Brighton.
I'm gonna. There could be another cricket score. That couldn't it? Literally 6. I'm gonna say a home win. I'm gonna say 4-0.
4-0 Liverpool.
4-0 Liverpool. Aye.
I'm going to go 2-1 Ipswich. Liam Chris says 5-0 to the Scouse. Josh Wilson says hammering for Liverpool 4-5-0. Terry Hagland says 4-0 to Liverpool. It's going to be a Liverpool win in it, but it just seems to be like hopefully we'll get that last man standing kicked off again this weekend. Double bubble, by the way. If anybody wants to join, get onto Facebook, Elton Juniors, under 8, last man standing, and get on there. You can enter even if you weren't in before for 20 quid. It's going to be about 700 or 800 quid to win there. If you are the last man, he, him, her, it, standing. Southampton against Newcastle.
Did you say there's midweek games on as well or not? Or that isn't?
Just for the big teams.
Oh, right. Okay, so Newcastle's got a full week's rest. I'm gonna go Newcastle 3-0 win.
Oh yeah?
Aye. They'll beat Southampton.
I think Southampton are going to get their first home win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Southampton. Aye. I do.
You want to go to the book, you see? What a fortune if these come in.
Do you still back Hoyland to score a hat-trick every game or him to play 3 consecutive 90 minutes? Actually, he's still back it. It's got to come in one day. Toon win 4-1. Crispy's gone 3-0 to the cartoon hobby. Josh Wilson says Newcastle lose 1-0. I tell you, I honestly think Southampton beat them, me. Like,
yeah.
Aye.
Wolves are at home against Arsenal. That's the last of the 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday.
Arsenal's gonna get a win, and I'm gonna say a 2-0 to Arsenal.
I think the same. I think Arsenal will win, and I think it'll be more convincing. I'm probably gonna go for a 4-1 win. Wolves look good when that manager first came in, but I watched them like the last live game, and they were piss poor, mind. Honestly, it just so happened that they were playing Man United on the manager's first game. So not only is it the cup final, they've got a new manager to impress, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Oh, it was the Toon game. I thought like they were absolutely crap against the Toon. I thought Newcastle weren't much better. Isaac, obviously, he done very little, and then he gets that deflected goal, and it just changes everything. But I thought Wolves were poor. Kuna came on, and he should have scored 2 or 3, to be fair. If he's dictating play and he's orchestrating the whole game, then they're a good team. But if he's not on it, they're bad. They're really bad. I'm going to go 4-1 Arsenal. The comments, the lads, Crispy's gone 3-1 Arsenal. as has Terry Haglton. Josh Wilson thinks it'll be 1 out of Arsenal. So everybody thinks Arsenal will win and Wolves will not be able to pull nothing out of the bag. Melly, you said Ipswich away was a hard game. And look what happened, 4-0. You know what, though? There's a massive difference there, right? And it's the team that they were playing. One game they were playing Newcastle. The other game they're playing Man United. And about what anybody says, we are still everybody's cup final. If Man United come to town, the players just play. They want to play. They want to impress because now there's going to be loads of headlines about it if they win. Whereas if they beat the Toon 4-0, there was no headlines. None. Like, you're the only one that remembers it. Ian, the other 52,000. Nobody else remembers it. But everybody remembers Ipswich drawing with Man United 1-1. Everybody does. That's because of the size of the clubs. I'm sorry that upsets you, but it's true. It is, isn't it? Man City against Chelsea and the Saturday night Premier League. How do you see that, Karen? What a tie, mind, to finish off on Saturday. You'll see if City are back this Saturday because
I love her.
He's in. Here he is. Look, it's a big one. I've got it.
Scotty.
I wasn't lying. Man City, Chelsea.
I'm going to say Man City win. Chelsea's on a bit of a poor run. They play the night as well, don't they?
Wolves, they kick off, 25 minutes?
I'm going to say a City win. I'm going to go 3-1 City.
3-1 City?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go for a score draw 2-2.
Desmond.
Aye.
So is Terry?
Could be. It's going to go 1 or 2 ways, isn't it? It'll either be a good, close game, goal for goal, or City will dominate it. It's as simple as that. I can't see Chelsea winning there, that's for sure. Crispy has gone for 3-1 to City. Terry Haglton's also gone for a Desmond Tutu, like me. Sunday sees another London derby. Crystal Palace host Brentford. How do you see that, Gary?
Crystal Palace host Brentford. I'm going to say Palace keep up their good run of form, and I'm going to get 1-0. 1-0 Palace. Yeah.
I'll mirror you there, Gary. I'm going to go on 1-0 to Palace as well. It'll be tight, but I think Palace are doing all right, aren't they? Mm-hmm. I'll catch up in the comments in a minute if anybody comments. Next up, we've got Tottenham against Leicester. Must win for Tottenham this, playing against a very poor Leicester. But it's also a must-win for Ruud van Nistelrooy, so pretty good game. Well, you're thinking, Liam Crisp thinks it'll be 1s each between Palace and Brentford, and Terry thinks Brentford will win 3-1. How do you see Tottenham and Leicester, though, Gary?
I cannot see anything other than a Spurs win. I think they will beat Leicester. I'm going to see a 3-1 to Spurs.
3-1 to Spurs. I think Chris reckons it'll be 3-0. There was 2-0, Gallen. They won 2-0 Leicester, Fulham. Crispy thinks it'll be 3-0 to Tottenham. Terry thinks it'll be 2-1 to Leicester. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw again. Desmond 2-2. I don't think either team will win. Both will be desperate to win it. Tottenham conceded. They can score, but they also concede. And Leicester on the day can score goals. So I'll see a good game there, 2-2. As I do the next game as well, and I always put the 2-2 result on this game. Aston Villa against West Ham. I don't know why. It's like Sunderland and Middlesbrough. I always do 2s each with them two as well. So I preempted there and I've gone 2-2. Gary, how do you see Villa and West Ham playing out?
I think you're gonna. I'm gonna go for a Villa home win. I'm gonna go 2-0.
2-0 to Villa.
Yeah.
If Villa win 2-0, that will potentially put them back into Europe places. They had a bad run, but they've come back, haven't they? They're not doing too bad, are they, really? Mm-hmm. Ideally, obviously West Ham are 1 place below us, so we could deal with the Villa win, but I can't see anything other than a draw. Liam Crisp thinks it'll be 3-1 to Villa. Terry Haglin is going for a 3-3. Get yourself a quid on that, mate. You'll get 50 to 1, and it is definitely a potential. And in the Premier League weekend, down at Craven Cottage on a Sunday night, it's 7 o'clock. Absolutely mental that. We're gone. So we're gone. United. Fulham against Manchester United. How do you see it gone, Gary?
Me head saying Fulham's gonna win, but my heart saying Man United's gonna win. I'm gonna go
one away from home, man.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
Aye.
Geordie Toon for life reckons they'll be 3-0 to Fulham. Liam Crisp reckons it'll be 2-0 to United. Terry Haglington's gone 3-1 to Fulham. Martin Gallen went 5-0 to Fulham. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Manchester United. They're away from home. They're playing much better away from the poison of Old Trafford of late. Because let's be honest, it is. Barry reckons it'll be a Desmond Tutu. And, Fulham are in good form, aren't they? They play football. It's a good little ground. I don't know. I just, I see United beating Rangers through the week. They have to beat Rangers. You've got to beat Rangers. For God's sake, that's like playing like Wrexham, isn't it? For being honest. The Scottish Premier League, it's the equivalent of...
Got to win that game.
Division 1, you've got to be beating them, man. How? Jesus. They'll be crying forward to come on here if Rangers beat them. Rightfully so.
Well, no, you're totally right, because I don't think they're doing too well either, Rangers. So
I think they've had a bit of form, and they're doing all right in Europe. Like, they played Spurs, and they absolutely battered Spurs, mate. But
they'll beat us then.
Look, it's an hour and 10 minutes we've done. It's 20 minutes till Monday Night Football starts. It's good crack on there. I like the Monday Night Football. We'll carry on them. So we're going to love yous and leave yous. Let me know if you've enjoyed one new editions of What Does the Kids Think? And also our Team of the Week. Thank you, Gary, as always. Been good crack on it, kid.
Has flew over.
Absolutely flew over. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next Monday. Next Monday, because we'll be travelling back, won't we?
Yes. Next Monday, guys.
Straight home. Just tell the wife that we're going straight into the shed.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you.
See you later.